When I was a kid, my mom worked in the microbiology department at the local hospital here in Toronto, and I thought her job was the coolest thing ever. I remember for a science project one time at school, she brought me home a little petri dish so I could grow my own bacteria. So back then, we thought of bacteria as bad, and really the science focused around, finding the bad, identifying the bad bacteria and eradicating them. But now, if you fast forward decades later, what scientists have uncovered is simply mind-blowing. I want you to eat the foods that make you feel amazing. I'm so excited for you to come on this joyous journey with me because I know you're gonna feel refreshed and rejuvenated and totally motivated to take the best care of you. For many, many years, it was all about bad microbes, but now we know there's tons of good. So what is the microbiome? The microbiome is a community of bacteria and viruses and fungi that live on our body and in our body in the trillions. And these bacteria help us do so many things. They have so many roles. But the point of this video today is that I want to share with you all the ways that you can support your child's microbiome. There are so many ways that microbes help us, but let's just talk about kids. So a healthy gut microbiome is so key in establishing a healthy immune system and also preventing kids from getting sick. So lots of healthy microbes help the body better identify between friend and foe, friend and enemy. They also help children and adults to better digest food. They help break down waste and toxins. They really help with digestion. They help with absorption. Scientists have even uncovered that certain microbes impact how we store fat. They can impact type 2 diabetes. I could honestly go on and on and on about all the benefits, all the ways that microbes help us. But really, I wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty of 5 ways that you can help your child have a healthy microbiome. So the first thing you want to do is eat a rainbow. Make sure your kids are eating colorful foods because this will feed the microbes. So I have here a lovely basket of a variety of colors. I've got orange and green and red and yellow. Sadly in North America, 40% of kids' fruit and veggie intake comes from 2 things. Any guesses? Any guesses, Walker? Fruit juice and white potato. So they are definitely not getting a variety of phytonutrients. Phyto means plant nutrient. And there's certain phytonutrients that are actually food for the microbes. So you want your kids to eat foods that the microbes like because you're only as healthy as your healthiest microbes. The other thing is fermented foods. So I have some fermented foods here like miso and sauerkraut. A lot of parents will say to me, oh, sauerkraut, that's so weird. I don't know if my kids can eat that. This beet sauerkraut here is delicious. Our daughter is 3.5 and she eats sauerkraut. So, it's never too early and it's never too late to introduce fermented foods. Fermented foods are probiotic foods. They have live active bacteria in there that help to nourish the gut. Also, all these plant foods have lots of fiber, and fiber also feeds the gut microbes. So you want your kid to be eating fermented foods. I have a whole list right here, everything from sauerkraut right down to miso, and lots of color. So color is a cue for health. The other really easy way to get your kid to get more superfoods into their diet is something that I do. I give my daughter the fermented organic gut superfoods. This is a prebiotic. It is like the ultimate prebiotic superfood. Prebiotics are food for the microbes. And what I do is I put this in smoothies. This is a yummy grape flavor. It's all organic. You can check out this smoothie right here, my coconut sprinkle smoothie. You can also check out our unicorn bites. My daughter likes to call them unicorn poops. The recipe's right here. And I just mix that in and it's a perfect little after school snack. And the other thing you might notice on this package is Joyous Health. So I have actually collaborated with Genuine Health to bring you this product. I am so excited about this. This is available in Canada and in the US. You can just mix it into water and it is your insurance policy that your kid's getting superfoods. Now, it does not replace eating healthy foods, but there are 22 fermented and organic superfoods per scoop. So we give this to our daughter Vienna, plus we make sure she eats lots of plant foods. My second point about supporting your child's microbiome is to please limit processed packaged foods. foods with ingredients that you don't know, you don't recognize. Food additives have been found in research to alter the gut bacteria, so much so that it increases intestinal inflammation. So there are ingredients like emulsifiers like polysorbate 80 or carboxymethylcellulose that are added to things like ice creams and yogurts and different nut milks, so many processed foods, and these are being shown in research to alter the gut bacteria. So what can you do? Limit processed foods. That is honestly the only solution. I would suggest, if you don't actually know what every single ingredient is on a label, if it's not actually a food, don't give it to your child. Another food additive, well, actually I can't even really call it an additive because it's not added once the food is made. It's actually added as the food is growing, and that's glyphosate. Glyphosate is the main chemical found in Monsanto's Roundup. Glyphosate has been deemed a probable carcinogen by the World Health Organization. But the problem with glyphosate is it's everywhere. It's in our lakes and it's in our rivers, it's in our food. Any food that is genetically modified, like sugar, corn, soy, is going to be contaminated with glyphosate. And glyphosate, we have found in research that it is altering the gut bacteria. So really the only way around this is to actually choose, especially for the dirty dozen, choose organic and avoid genetically modified foods if you don't want this chemical in your child's body. And the final part I want to mention about limiting processed foods are artificial sweeteners. Now, I would imagine that most of you out there as a parent are not giving your child aspartame or saccharin, sucralose. Hopefully nobody is giving that to their child, but maybe this is more a message for you. If you are an adult and you're using artificial sweeteners, please stop. There is literally no place for artificial sweeteners in our diet. And I know I'm sharing a lot of information with you, so if you go on my blog, I have so much more information and links to all of the studies that I am going to be talking about. Now, I know it's really hard to avoid sweeteners, but there are like a lot of natural ways to sweeten your food. I have a whole video on that, but I'll just tell you off the top of my head sweeteners that I like to use. Applesauce, fruit. On occasion, if I'm baking something, I like to use coconut sugar. I like maple syrup. I like using coconut butter as a spread. You can use honey. There's many alternate ways to sweeten your food that are super healthy for you. So my next tip has nothing to do with food, and it's something that I do in my family. Walker, my husband, and our daughter Vienna do every single day, and that is to get outside in nature. Because nature increases microbial diversity in your children and in us. It is so important to get out there, to roll down a grassy hill, to play in the sandbox, get down and get dirty, because this enhances children's immune system. The more you can expose them to a diverse variety of bacteria, this helps to train their immune system to know a variety of different types of bacteria, so that, if you keep them in an over-sanitized environment, then as they grow older, different types of bacteria and different potential allergens can cause a problem. So nature is so healing, and getting outside, getting in nature every day, I highly recommend it. My next tip, number 4, to help your child have a healthy microbiome is to get them moving every day. Exercise is amazing for your gut microbes. There is substantial research that shows that when you're active, you get your heart rate going, you actually stimulate your gut bacteria and more diverse gut microbes, which helps to modulate the immune system. What this means is it helps you have a strong, robust immune system. It also has been shown to help potentially manage weight. And I'm not talking about expending calories here. What I mean is exercise impacts the gut microbes such that it can potentially help kids prevent weight gain. So exercise influences these gut microbes, and there's gut microbes that actually impact and influence your body's metabolism. That's how your microbiome can actually help your kids manage their weight. And we know in Canada and the US, up to 60% of kids are overweight or obese. So getting them to exercise helps those gut microbes, which helps their body fat composition. The other thing that daily movement also does for your kids is it increases their transit time. Now, you may have never heard of that before. What am I talking about? I'm talking about how long from when they eat to when they poop, that timing. And a lot of kids are constipated. So when they move around, this actually increases circulation and detoxification and helps them poop. So that's also really good for the gut microbiome. And one thing we always did with Vienna, our daughter, when she was a baby and just crawling, and then when she learned to walk around, obviously she was more sedentary before she was fully mobile. So we would then just kind of like chase her around the living room if ever she was constipated until her cheeks were red, and then she'd have a big poop. Works every time. And my final point is to please avoid antibiotics when possible. Antibiotics are a global health crisis because of something called antibiotic resistance. That's because people are overusing them. So if ever you are told by your doctor to take an antibiotic, really make sure, and it's up to us as a patient to ask these questions, really make sure you actually need it. So I would do everything you can to avoid antibiotics, but there are some times that your kids have to take them. Human research shows that a single course of antibiotics can alter the composition and diversity of your gut bacteria for months and up to a year. So what does this mean? When you take an antibiotic, it doesn't identify between the good guys and the bad guys, especially a broad spectrum antibiotic. It just wipes out everything. And this can pave the way for things like allergies in children, asthma in children. It can promote things like leaky gut as well, because the microbes are there to protect your gut lining. The mucosal lining in your gut needs good, friendly microbes. So if ever your child does have to take an antibiotic, just make sure that they're doing all the things I already talked about. So another thing I suggest you do on a daily basis, whether your child has taken an antibiotic or not, is to give your child a probiotic. That's something we give to Vienna every single day. And I've collaborated with Genuine Health to launch our own chewable, super yummy lemonade flavor probiotic for kids. And so this probiotic has 5 billion active live bacteria per chewable. And we have selected all of the strains, research proven, for everything from preventing abdominal discomfort, constipation, diarrhea, reducing upper respiratory infections. There's even emerging research on some of these strains for supporting cognitive function in children and mental health and well-being. So an important factor about this chewable is the technology of how it's made. Now, I know we're gonna nerd out here a bit, but this is important. When you go to the health food store and you look at the full array of probiotics out there, what makes the Genuine Health Joyous Health probiotic different is that when it's manufactured and they compress the tablet's actually made using a honeycomb technology. So the bacteria sits in the little honeycomb and is protected, so when the tablet is compressed, it does not get damaged or killed. Because what happens with the large majority of chewables, when that tablet is made, that sheer pressure destroys all of the bacteria. So that then the probiotic you get doesn't have what is stated on the label. So you are guaranteed to have 5 billion active live bacteria for your kid. I know this is a lot of information to take in, but it is deeply important as a parent to do everything we can to support our child's microbiome. From getting outside in nature to helping them be active to eating colorful foods, because these health habits that we establish with our children when they are young, research shows they take these habits into the teen years and into adulthood. So we can help foster healthy, resilient future generations to come. So all this information I share in a really comprehensive blog post, which I'll link in the description box. The probiotics and the superfoods product as well, you can find in the description box. It's available in Canada and in the US at health food stores and online. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, please post below. I'm always happy to talk to you guys. And of course, please subscribe. So thanks for watching, everyone, and have a joyous day. Bye!